When he took his top off and I saw his chest, I was thinking, Jesus.
I just thought he's going to get yellow cards, isn't he? That's what I thought.
Mohamed Salah, after many years of being the top scoring player in FPL, will not continue his reign at the top of the tree.
It's definitely time for his breakout season at age 34. Getting in over the World Cup winning Hugo Lloris. Welcome everyone, this is the All-In FPL show. We are back with a huge double game week ahead to give the best tips and advice as always. We are joined by the legend himself, Alex Doyle. How are you, Alex?
JB, I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I've been on my holibobs. I've been on vacay, as they call it in the US. Been over to Florida. So yeah, 2 weeks off.
Yeah, you got the tan for it, so
a little glow. It does look a tiny bit, but you know, not pasty white as always for a change.
Nice and well rested.
Yeah. As I was previously saying, walking around Disney while Watkins was getting an assist and Harry Kane was killing me, weren't the best, but it was a fun time, very busy. But pleased to be back to normal routine with all the football ahead this week. We're also joined by the richest man on the planet. His cap that he's wearing cost a mere £1,000. It is the money man, Joshua Waldridge. How are you, Josh?
Good, thanks, mate. It's good to have you back. After
Did you miss me?
A week without you, it was just me and Doyle holding the ship together, wasn't it, for that week while you was doing better things, apparently, or something like that.
Yeah. Theme parks and fireworks and shopping, everything. Yeah, it was really busy. And come back, got a bit of a cold as well. Even took a COVID test today, but I'm in the clear, so I'm ready and roaring to go.
Cool. Well, I guess what we'll do is we've not got much time, so we'll very briefly run over the last game week, if anyone can remember what that was, before we look ahead to the double game week and just try and get through as much as we can with that, because it's a pretty tough week, I think, at least. And then we'll look at our teams for that week and what we're going to do. So starting with the game week just gone, who is the loser? Is it me or JB?
JB, unless you took a hit, yeah.
I did take a hit.
It's you then. Unless JB took a hit, in which case it's back to him.
No, I did not take a hit last week. Just one
transfer. As usual, go on.
Well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad a week to be last. A game week rank of 1.6 million, 53 points -4, so 49. Yeah, what I remember of it, I remember transferring in Mudryk for a hit. That was fun. He scored 0 points, so that wasn't good. I was pretty sure he was gonna play. I'd seen a video on YouTube saying Mudryk's found his new position. This is going to be his new role for Chelsea. It's going to be amazing. And then he gets 0 minutes. So that was fun. But in that game, I did captain Havertz, who got his goal on a bit of bonus. So that was all right. And obviously, Everton got the draw at the end, which was amazing. Tarko with his assist. And then obviously had Saka, which everyone had, but didn't captain him, which I think was the big one for this week. If you captain Saka, you're flying. If not, you're sort of middling. And that's where I ended up. Middling.
JB, over to you, I think. The hit for Mudryk has made me feel better about mine, to be fair. But yeah.
I did not realise you brought Mudryk into your team. I would not have advised that. So that's what happens when I'm away for a week, you see. Crazy to do that. But anyway, what do you expect? So my week, 51 points. It looked pretty disastrous, to be honest. Because the way my team's been set up the last month or two, I'm pretty much playing through all of this at the moment because I had enough players to get through the blanks and the doubles. And then my strategy is pretty much going to be wildcard 33, bench boost 34 straight away so that I can, hopefully my whole subs bench will be playing twice. And then free hit in the other double towards the end of the season in 37. Or if I've got enough players, I could always use it in 38 when there's always a few differential players to pick. And there's always a few players dropped and a couple of players teams who need to play for something. So I'm kind of going against the grain, but it was how my team fell. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Makes it a little bit more fun for me as well. I'll probably have a lot of Man City players, hopefully, for the last few game weeks. But because of that, I haven't got Harry Kane in my team, which was a bit of an issue. And he was obviously most captained. So I was walking around Epcot just before we was about to leave for the Magic Kingdom. Harry'd banged in a couple of goals. There's a massive lake there as well. I was about to jump in and drown myself. Missus weren't happy. Holiday was nearly ruined. But thankfully, I managed to pull myself back a little bit with the Chelsea Everton game, which was in the afternoon for me. And that really did save me. I captained Tony because I had no Kane. He got 2 points. I obviously should have captained Saka. He was pretty much the consensus second pick, I think, looking at most of the polls that are done. I was just a little bit worried because I hadn't kept up to date too much with the football while I was away. So there was Europa League a few days before, and I was a little bit off put by Arsenal playing most of the game. It was extra time and everything as well. And then he had a little niggly injury the week before. And I just thought, Tony's at home. Why not? Let's captain him. Little bit of a differential. It could have been Watkins for captain as well. I did have it on him at one point. But anyway, it let me down. But I did have Saka in my team, so that was okay. But going back to the Chelsea game, Felix was great. Scored, got bonus points. James got an assist for me in defence. Even Tarkovsky got an assist for me as well. So I was quite happy with that game, and that pretty much pulled me back to above average, but around about the players we were playing with, probably about average, to be honest. And apart from that, there weren't much there. I did have Shah, that was my transfer in, and I was absolutely shitting it because I brought him in because of the time difference. I had to bring him in the night before because I was a little bit worried the next morning. I had to get up super early, like some of our US friends have. And then I woke up in the morning and then saw that he'd been left out the Switzerland team squad for the friendlies that was in the Euros. And he was flagged, and I was a little bit worried about how he did play, but he blanked for me anyway. So that was pretty much the story of my game week. On to you, Josh, top of the pile.
I think you've had a great holiday, mate. That's a classic holiday captain, that is, if ever I've seen one. What a load of nonsense, literally.
Living the dream, weren't I? Eh?
Yeah, you were like, oh, Tony. There was a few things you said that I think you've had a good holiday. I mean, Kane only scored one for a start, so.
Oh, did he only get one? I thought he got two.
No, he got one. He got 6 points.
Oh, that shows you how much attention I was paying. I was around China land at that point because in Epcot they've got all the countries, so you go around each one. And I was in China, and Becky was buying like this frozen ice blast thing that was authentic Chinese something or other. Yeah, and I went careering over to the seat. I had to sit down at that point when he scored. I think he went to the top of the bonus, did he, when he scored, maybe, or something? Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
No, he got 6 points, mate.
Eventually. But yeah, I was in a bad way.
I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, so I bought in a new goalkeeper this week. I thought I should change it up a bit between the sticks. I haven't done that in a while.
That made me laugh.
Nick Pope for a -4 because Danny Wood wasn't going to play, so I needed a goalkeeper. I didn't have one. It's just absolutely ridiculous what keeps happening over and over again. I just can't explain what's going on. We had Sanchez dropped. We've now got Ward dropped. Those are my two goalkeepers I picked on wildcard 2 weeks ago. So they're both gone since then. They've both gone to pastures new. So we've now got Pope and Steele. I know Steele's not a rotation risk anytime. That's for certain. He's going to keep his place. So yeah, Nick Pope 2 points, -2 for that one.
Was there rumours he was injured or something? Because I saw you brought him in, and then I was chuckling to myself with Mickey Mouse at the time, just telling him the story about my pal from the UK, and even he couldn't believe it. Because weren't Pope not going to play after you brought him in? But he did in the end. I don't know what happened.
Well, he dropped out the England squad, didn't he?
That was it, right? But he still played.
Yeah, he played, but then he dropped out the England squad with an injury.
He done a shard, did he?
So I don't even know if he's going to play this week now coming back. I think he will, but I'm just like, can you imagine if I have to do another one? Like Steele gets dropped, and then Pope's got injured, and then suddenly we don't have a goalkeeper again. It's just comical. Anyway, let's stop talking about this nonsense. My hero was James Ward-Prowse. He got 10 points, with a last-minute penalty, which took him straight to the top of the BAPS, which is absolutely perfect. Really needed that this week. Kane captain, Saka, and a Watkins assist. Everyone else blanked. There you go. You didn't need to do much to finish top of the pile this week, I'll tell you that. But James Ward-Prowse got us there, so yeah.
There's an 8-point goal for JWP, was it?
Yeah, 8-point goal, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely massive. He's good at BAPS, but a last-minute penalty like that probably wasn't a penalty. You take that all day, I think. Yeah, bit of my luck coming through there. Saka's haul is absolutely outrageous. Obviously, like 18 points is crazy for him. It's like it like tops his biggest score of the season by like 5 points or something, and like it's the 1 week where say 25% of the field have captained him. Just like very unfortunate for us, but at least we've all got him right. So bit of insurance there at least.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll leave that behind. It's so long ago, I can't even really remember it, to be honest with you. And given I finished bottom, even better to leave it in the past. And we'll move on to this next mega double game week. Josh, what are the fixtures? Give us a rundown. What's going on? Who's playing who? Who's got the good fixtures? Who's got the bad fixtures?
So just to summarise really quickly, 8 teams have a single game week and 12 teams have a double game week. Those that double are Bournemouth, Brighton, Leeds and Forest, Leicester and Villa, who I think people have got a little bit of Villa at this point, Chelsea and Liverpool, and then some of the more popular ones, Man United and Brentford play each other as the second game of the game week. So I think people have got quite a bit of investment there. And then West Ham and Newcastle are the other two as well. So the popular picks that people will already have are probably Rashford, Trippier almost certainly, some Brentford exposure, and then some Brighton exposure as well people will have. That's probably the main things that people have got. Me and JB have got Watkins, haven't we, JB? And you've obviously got the Chelsea boys as well.
Yep.
But you're getting Mudryk, mate. Everyone's got him, right?
Yeah, everyone seems to have a bit of Chelsea. It's absolutely wild to me. I don't think I've had any of those for like 10 weeks or something. But everyone's got like a little flavour of Chelsea somewhere, whether it be James, Chilwell, Kepa, Mudryk, as someone's got, João Felix. Like it's just
there's lots of Havertz around now as well.
Oh yeah, Havertz is a big Jesus Christ. You two have got so much Chelsea; it's absolutely mental. Literally, you must be so over-indexed compared to the field.
I can't get another one in. I'm blocked. I've blocked myself. What can I do?
Yeah,
but at least I've got the best for it.
And then it's worth saying as well, Arsenal have got Leeds at home as a single game week, which is absolutely phenomenal week. I would add to that. I think like there's no rush to be selling an Arsenal mid, or I think you'd keep at least one if you had two, for example. Like surely, I think you'd keep one, right?
Let's start there, shall we? Should we start with Arsenal?
Yeah.
Because obviously they've got a single game week. I think a lot of us are in a position where we're benching. Well, we've got double game week assets. We've got single Arsenal assets. We've got Haaland. What are you benching there? Are you benching an Arsenal lad? Or are you selling an Arsenal lad to get a doubler? What do you think, JB? What are you doing with your Arsenal?
Personally, I think as long as you got a solid team this week, I think it's absolutely fine to play an Arsenal player. You can squeeze in some of these double game week players who might not have the best fixtures, but I think because the fixture is so good for Arsenal, their expected points potential is not far off a doubler anyway. I mean, you only have to look at Saka last week with 18 points. Look at Martinelli's banging in goals every week. Yeah, I don't think you need to worry too much about Arsenal players. If you want to play them this week. I certainly wouldn't be doing a transfer just to get a doubler in at the expense of benching an Arsenal player. I don't think that's the move at all. We've got a blank game week coming up in the semi-finals soon. That'll affect a lot of people in 32, I think it is. Josh will be the man for that. But
32.
So there'll be no Man United, who people will obviously have a lot of coverage of. Chelsea, we just mentioned, everyone seems to have loads of Chelsea players. And the big one is Brighton. A lot of people with wild carded especially. Brighton won't be playing either. So personally, if 32? Yeah, Arsenal playing 32. Yeah, they've got Southampton at home, which is a very good fixture as well. So again, you want to keep them for that. So I certainly wouldn't be transferring them out. I wouldn't be transferring anyone in just because they got 2 games at the expense of benching an Arsenal player either. So yeah, hold for me. I don't know what you guys think. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think for people without free hit like Doyle, holding the Arsenal is really compulsory. I would say. I think like just
I've
because
got a
of that
wild
30,
card, right? So I could wild card out to 32, right?
I wouldn't wildcard before 32. I don't think there's going to be any doubles before 32 now. So you just don't want to do that anymore. I think you want to wildcard 34 now, and then you hit double, double, double. You just hit 3 double game weeks in 4 weeks, basically. Um, it's not impossible that Newcastle Brighton will go into 31, but I think it's more likely at this point it goes into 35 or 36 now. So I would say you want to be wildcarding 34 now, Doyle, or maybe 33 out of the blank. That's another option. But I think you want to play through 32 now, which means keeping Arsenal basically, and probably not like hitting Odegaard to Bruno. I think, which for people who are free hitting 32, I think that becomes more on the table to do something like that. I'm not going to do it, I don't think, but yeah. The other thing to point out here is I think people are very like psychologically influenced. I think so. Those who are on bench boost, I don't think they're even considering selling their Arsenal assets. I think they're just going to put them on the bench and bench boost with them. You know what I mean? But the people who are starting the Arsenal, who only have 11 players, it just feels more of a psychological spot to either bench the Arsenal or sell the Arsenal for a double game week. You know what I mean? So let's be clear, Arsenal could run riot in this game. This could be a 5-goal game easily against Leeds. Like it just could, couldn't it? Right? It might not be like that,
I
but
don't think Leeds are the same Leeds that they were under Jesse Marsh and Bielsa. I don't think they're as quite as open as they potentially were. But having said that, what was the last game? Was it like 4-2 or something like that? They're free.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4-2. But yeah, they don't seem quite as open in the style at least. But
the game before that was 2-2 as well against Brighton.
maybe they are open. Maybe Leeds are quite bad at defensively actually.
To be fair, the 3 games before that was all 1-0 though, so
yeah,
bit of a mixed bag really. It's probably still bedding in process.
Yeah, and I mean, I was listening to another podcast earlier saying about how Arsenal's fixtures after that are tough, but then you look at it, it's Liverpool away. It's not really tough. It's a mirage. It's a
people are covering up the 32 fixture as well because people are thinking that a lot of people are free hitting that week, which they are. But
yeah.
Southampton at home is as good as it gets. Like that's as good a fixture as you can possibly
I mean,
have. So, like,
West Ham away isn't a bad fixture either, is it?
yeah.
Let's be frank. And I think another part of it, right, is it's just tough because ordinarily I'd consider it, but I don't look at any of these doublers and think, wow, I need players from this team, really. I mean, the best of it is Brighton, and even that, it's not an amazing double. So, yeah, I mean, like United looks really, really tough. Newcastle and Brentford, both good teams. I mean, I guess Leicester is a good double, but outside of that, it's tough. And even then, Leicester against the Roy Hodgson, Crystal Palace, and Villa, who look good. So
yeah, Arsenal are enabler price as well. We need to remember that because like people are trying to jam in like Salah, Haaland, Kane in the next few weeks. I think they'll all still be options after this double sort of thing. You need the likes of an Odegaard or a Saka or a Zinchenko or a couple of those to be able to fund the others. Like, I mean, Odegaard's cheaper than 7 million, right? He's like 7 point something million. Zinchenko's 5.2, I think. It's just like they're just very good prices for like just holding for the rest of the season and not looking back. They don't blank for the rest of the season. Like they don't have they play every week. So what more do you want from the best team in the country at the moment?
yeah, I'd imagine you lose a ton of value, right, as well when you take them out and put them back in. So
The thing is, I think people won't put them back in. I think if they sell them now, they're pretty committed to leaving them till 36 maybe. And even then, you've got double game week assets to buy in 34, 35, 37. So
yeah.
are you got? I think if you get rid, you're sailing on like you the ship's gone. You know what I mean? That's like you with less than 3 Arsenal for the rest of the season. And
Even in game week 36, I mean, it starts 33. They're away at Man City. Then they've got Chelsea, Newcastle, and then Brighton at home in 36. I mean, Brighton at home 36. Anyone can score there, but the way they're playing, that's 4 really good teams that you wouldn't necessarily want them to be playing. So very difficult to want to buy them back over other options.
Like you said, Josh, that seems to lend itself to a game week 33 wildcard, right? When they play City, you just wildcard, take them out, get some other guys in that double the next couple of weeks, and off you fly.
yeah, I mean, what I am considering is doing Ward Prowse to a double game week midfielder and then benching Odegaard. So I've still got him, but I'm just not playing him this week. Like, I don't think it's ideal because I think I still want to play him. But yeah, that's I think selling James Ward Prowse is obviously absolutely fine. I mean, that just I shouldn't have had him in the first place. So I think selling him is like, no one's going to tell me not to do that, right? But it does mean benching one of Odegaard or Kane, and Kane could be a good bench this week. Like genuinely, like, and I never do things like that, but I'm looking at it and thinking, I think I'd rather play Odegaard. You know what I mean? It's like really, really weird week, but yeah. And then you've covered a lot of it off Doyle as well. Like, obviously Brighton have got 2 good fixtures. They've got Bournemouth and Brentford, which with Brentford being at home, I think that's a really good double overall. Brentford's is really tough. Brighton and United away, like, that's horrible, right? Like, I'm considering benching some of the double game week defenders I've got from Brentford. You can't be opposed to that, can you, boys? Really, I don't think.
I think there's goals there. I think I wouldn't be. I feel okay with Tony, etc. I think they can score goals against Brighton away. I think they can score goals at United. I don't know if Casemiro is back or not for United. Don't think he is.
It was a 4-game ban, wasn't it? So it's quite
Yeah, so he should be out as well.
He's missing both of these, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, not awful from a Brentford attacking perspective, but yeah, defensively, yeah, I wouldn't be rushing to start any Brentford defenders, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brighton are scoring goals for fun, innit?
Yeah.
So Brighton are going to score. Going to Old Trafford as well. Their towers are up. I think, Rashford's going to score just by himself alone. So
I've got 2 Brentford defenders. I'm going to play one bench one, I think, just because they've got a double. I think playing one, you might fluke a clean sheet or an assist or something, and I'll bench the other one. And you just know what's going to happen. Whichever one I bench will score. But you, I don't think. What's that?
Which 2 have you got?
Henry and me.
Oh, it's a Rico Henry masterclass.
Could see.
No, I'm going to play Henry and then me will score.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I've got Rico Henry, so let's just say he just goes nuts. I think that's my fun. But yeah, I think obviously a big question this week is going to be captaincy, and I think it's all around those fixtures, right? I mean, I'm currently flirting between Havertz, Mitoma. I think the majority will go Rashford, I'd imagine. I think it could be quite split just because those United fixtures are so tough.
Some people will still go Salah, I think, even with the City and Chelsea.
So, yeah.
I'm not advertising that. I might do it myself, but I'm not sure it's good. It's just like backing a player and a team to just become good again, I think, basically, because Liverpool have got all their attacking assets back now. Luis Diaz has been training this week, so he's going to be involved in the double game week. So yeah, I do think they will look better, but yeah. And Salah just always gets 90 minutes every game, doesn't he? It's just so weird how like they've got so many options, but he's like allergic to being benched. You know what I mean? He will start every game. So I think
that's why
he's the safe one. Yeah, he's the safe one. And something we missed. Tony's obviously on 9 yellow cards. I think that'll be the most popular quote of the week this week. But he is on 9 yellow cards. Do not captain him. He is not a captain option. All right, do not do that.
2 away fixtures as well, and 2 tough. Well, like I said, not necessarily bad attacking ones, but still away fixtures, and not the best. So.
Yeah, Forest have got Leeds and Wolves. That could be good for like a Brennan Johnson punt or something like that. That seems okay. Leicester, as you say, have got really good fixtures. Palace and Villa. I think there's goals in those. I think Madison or Barnes might be really good in those. Madison played for England yesterday, didn't he? So I think
he'll be buzzing after that as well. I think he got a lot of good praise the last week or so, and he could be a good captain shout. It's a very open week for a captain. I think you can kind of take your pick. I've actually got Salah, Rashford, and Mitoma. I haven't considered Salah whatsoever. Surprisingly. But
I'm going to Salah now.
He's got a big upside because Salah can do it in any game. We saw it against Man United. They won 7-0 and Salah absolutely crushed it when then he goes and blanks against Bournemouth the next week. But he does have the upside to do it, and he has that ability. But I think away at Man City and away at Chelsea, it's not too bad a fixture nowadays. But I think I'd prefer Mitoma and Rashford are the 2 I'm looking at. You can't not go Rashford, I don't think, with Brentford and Newcastle, the way he's playing at the moment. But he does have that injury where he pulled out the England squad. So I'd be just a little bit worried. I'd definitely wait for the presser to find out the news on how he's been the last week or so. I think he'll be fine. He jetted off to New York and was shown like schmoozing around Times Square and all that. So I think he'll be okay. But with that, if you do have any doubts, currently I've got it on Mitoma, and I think Brighton playing Bournemouth and Brentford, that's pretty much as good as it gets. And Mitoma's been on fire as well. So I'm probably likely to go for Mitoma, I think. But, Rashford or Mitoma, one of the two.
Doyle, I'm opening the floodgates for you. I think it's punt week this week. I think we are supposed to punt the captaincy this week.
Yeah, it's definitely punt week. I've got it currently on Havertz as my current captain of choice. 2 home games against Villa, and then they're just quite tough. But then they've got a banker in the second game, so I think you've got at least a brace written all over him in that one. So I think he's a pretty good one. I am kind of tempted to try and get to McAllister and captain him though. As something a bit more rogue. I think he's looked really, really good recently. But it's like I'd have to transfer out someone like Mudryk, and I don't think I can take that risk with how well he's been playing. So could be tough. But it's a fun week because, like you say, it's because there's no like standout fixtures. Like you can sort of go a lot of different ways of it. So it should be a pretty interesting one. Again, like you say, a lot of people are bench boosting, right? So it could be a tough one in terms of rank this week.
I've just found out who I'm going to buy.
Here he goes.
One of my friends told me not to get him, but I'm 100% buying him. 1,000,000%, actually.
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Bowen.
Yes, Jared Bowen. I'm going to buy him. I might cap him. I think they've got Southampton and Newcastle both at home. Like I just think that's really good. Like
Leicester, he must have dropped in price a bit as well, is he? Like 8 mil or something?
Yeah, he's 8 mil. Exactly, mate. You've nailed it. How can you turn that down?
It's not a bad fixture, Southampton and Newcastle, to be fair.
I was looking at Ben Rama because he looks the more lively, but he only starts every other game. It's absolutely bonkers. He just keeps being benched or subbed at half time, and Bowen just plays 90 every single week. Like he just never doesn't play 90. So
yeah. West Ham live Bowen on TV on Sunday and Wednesday as well, so that'll keep you entertained.
It's got to be a big factor, surely, the TV factor.
Yeah, make it fun.
No, because that means that you'll actually watch that game, whereas you could be doing anything else with your Sunday afternoon, Josh, rather than watching West Ham be fucking Southampton.
I'd love it if you brought him in for JWP and then Ward-Prowse bangs in a penalty and a free kick. And you've got Bowen.
Amazing. Yeah.
Please do it.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to do it. Okay. Madison's obviously good, as I said before. Crystal Palace and Villa. I think that could be a really good midfield punt.
I think Madison's the one. If you're going to bring in the midfielder, I don't mind Madison. I'd certainly do that over Bowen, if that would be my advice. But
I've got a better one. It's one of he's sat right next to JB.
The man himself, Big Phil.
Billy with Fulham at home and Brighton at home. That is goals galore, baby.
Cheap as chips. 5.5 million probably or something.
No. 5.2.
Oh,
absolute bargain.
Giving away points.
So I've only got 7.5 million in the bank as well, so I've not got much flexibility. So I've got to go down for someone cheap, I think.
Do that. You have money left over for next week.
I don't know if I've ever had double digits left in the bank. I might have to test that this week. I might have to ever had double digits in the bank in FPL.
Not bad.
I might just get rid of all of them. The Arsenal boys are gone, I think. I might
just wild card. I'm just wild card. I'm getting all the Bournemouth, all the West Ham. Get rid of
Leicester.
Doyle, the one you have to restructure to if you wild card is you've got to get Danny Ings. Like 100%, you've got to get Danny Ings. Like, you have to.
I'm going to have to sell Haaland and get Danny Ings.
I'd be a bit concerned in playing 2 games in the space of 4 days.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way this man is dropped at any point. He's absolutely nailed.
He ain't got it in him 180 minutes over the space of 3 days.
I really wanted Ben Rama because he's got good double digit ability when he plays, but
he's on pens as well now, is he? He's nicked him off of Bowen.
Danny Ings will be on pens.
Ben Rama took one.
when Ings was on the pitch.
I'll check.
Nah, he's probably off injured at the time.
Cool.
So what we're saying, this pod basically is all about West Ham, Leicester,
Focus on the good teams,
Bournemouth.
West Ham's, the Leicester's, the Bournemouths of the world.
Leeds got a good one as well. Oh no, Forest won it. Forest have got a good double. They've got Wolves and Leeds. So Johnson up front as well.
Yeah, Leeds have got Arsenal away and Forest at home. Still not too bad.
I feel a wild card coming on, Doyle. It's your time to shine.
I'm absolutely loving the idea of that. Oh, it'd be such a good fun free hit week, right? You could get so differential with it if you had a free hit.
Triple Forest.
Oh, it's all fun. It's all fun. Should we have a look at our teams and go through what we'll do rather than...
Yeah, Josh is eagerly trying to find out if Ings was on the pitch, I bet.
No, he wasn't. He got subbed off on 86.
Oh, so we don't know.
Benrahma took a penalty on 26.
Up in the air, it's up in the air.
Benrahma's on pens.
Oh, Benrahma's on pens?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Should we take a look at our teams and then we can obviously talk a little bit more about what we're anticipating and doing going ahead in the next few game weeks?
Yeah. Josh, go on, take us away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got 2 doubling goalkeepers, but I've used my bench boost. So I've got to decide between those. That's fun to start off with. Steele or Pope. I think I'm going to go Steele because he plays Brentford and Bournemouth. I just prefer the fixtures, I think. But plus Pope's a bit injured.
There is no way. I can't imagine a scenario in which Steele plays the first game, has a shocker, and doesn't play the second game.
Yeah,
whatever
I can't imagine
that
either. So let's go with him. Pope's got his niggle, obviously, and he's got Man United at home, West Ham away. Obviously, if I'm captaining Bowen, I'm just backing against Nick Pope, aren't I? So it's like, I'm just going to have to bench Pope, I think, and be happy with it. Then I've got a bit of all the crap double game week teams covered. So I've got Trippier, Henry, Estupinan across the back. I can't be mean to the Brentford boys because they did me a really good service 2 weeks ago, and the same with Estupinan, actually. They both locked the clean midweek, which,
Are we a bit worried about Estupinan? I know is he travelling this week? There was a bit of a hoo-ha about he's halfway around the world.
Yeah, I mean, Mitoma is actually doing the same amount of travelling, which is really interesting. Because everyone's highlighted Estupinan, but yeah.
He did come off. He was dragged off pretty much on 45 minutes in the last game, weren't he? And he got a bit of a blast in from De Zerbi saying he wasn't playing well enough. So add that with miles travelled. I mean, obviously Mitoma's been great, so I can't see that happening. But maybe he's just rested for one game and I wouldn't necessarily say dropped, but because he has got the travelling and he didn't play that well, maybe they save him for the Bournemouth game.
I see what you're on about. Yeah. Estupinan had a shocker in the FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah, that was it. Yeah,
I think I just can't not play him, so I'm just going to be playing him. I'm not going to captain him or anything. I did cap him last week, but luckily he didn't play, and Harry Kane got the vice captain. But I won't risk it this week. I think he might actually play this week. So, and then I've got your boys Mitoma and Rashford, JB.
Yeah, my boys. Yeah,
happy with those. I'm going to captain Rashford on my bus team at the moment, like pre-transfers or anything. Then Saka and Odegaard are starting at the moment. And then I've got Tony, Watkins and Harry Kane. I've got a lot of considerations. I think I'm definitely going to do something. Just a one mover, I think, whether that be Odegaard. Yeah.
Have you got 2 threes?
No. I took a hit last week.
Come on, the amount of goalies that have come through the door at the Waldridge household.
We're not allowed free transfers here. So I might just do one move using my free transfer. I might just do Ward-Prowse to a midfielder, and it could be literally anyone. It could be Salah, Bruno, Bowen, Maddison, or Billing. I don't know. whoever was the 5th one. I think I panicked there and lost my 5th guy, but yeah, it could be any of them. I'm pretty happy with all of them as punts, to be honest. And then
Uatara.
No, I won't be picking him.
The monster boy.
I won't be picking him. Absolutely no chance.
You're missing out.
But yeah, I think pretty strongly that Rashford's the best captain this week. Hopefully, as long as there's no injury in the press conference or anything, I think he's the one to go with.
He's actually monstrous, this Uatara guy, by the way. I'm bringing him in. I'm decided. He's just too good. I pick him on the Fantasy Monster every week. And you look at his stats. He's basically playing out of position. He's pretty much a striker.
Is this the Bournemouth player, Utara?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looked good. I watched. That's the one game I did catch last week against Liverpool. He's really good.
Yeah, and then it was 2 weeks ago. That was JB. But yeah,
it all merges into one for me.
It's just
well, it's the same day as Kane's hat trick, weren't it? So
yeah. My thinking of doing one transfer this week is I'm definitely going to be free hitting 32, I think. So I'm also going to be doing Kane to Haaland next week because I want Haaland back. So I'm thinking, do I just do a transfer this week, do one next week, do one 31, and then because you can't carry through a transfer through free hit, obviously. So I then free hit and I just start again in 33 basically and just see where the land lies, I suppose.
What about your goalkeeper transfer next week?
No, I'm here to stay now. These keepers are going to be playing for the rest of the season. I've even got both doubling goalkeepers in case Brighton Newcastle goes into 31. I'm ready already. I've got both covered. I will not be beaten by this nonsense ever again. I'm going to have a doubling goalkeeper every week for the rest of the season where it's possible.
I was going to say it's a really luxury transfer that you're doing this week, but it makes sense if you are going to free hit now. I see why you can afford to do it. Because I mean, even if your team is absolutely fine, even if you wanted to play me, that's fine.
I don't want to play you, mate.
Absolutely
no chance.
No, of course not. But yeah, I think you're looking good.
Yeah, who would you start out of, Odegaard or Kane, if I do bring in someone like Mo Salah?
Yeah, but then when you say that, then I think you don't need to make a transfer. Odegaard and Kane are fine. I mean, Kane's got Everton. That's almost.
JB, don't project that on. Just because you drew in the last minute, just because Ellis Sims pulled your pants down, don't start taking it out on Everton.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention that. But
what's going on there? That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to do it, to be honest. I think Odegaard and Kane are fine. I think I'm looking at it, actually, I probably would save a transfer just in case you need it for the next couple of weeks. One other thing as well to mention, Man City are going to play a lot of games for the run-in. Obviously, because they've progressed and stuff, and they've got so many doubles in hand. And Phil Foden had his appendix out, I think it was a couple of days ago, he's rushed to hospital or something and had it out, and it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks to recover. And that's just like a normal injury. So with all the doubles, I mean, Grealish and Mahrez, I reckon, are back on the cards. So that could be something to look at to get a nice differential in.
You had a good time in Mahrez last time, didn't you, JB? So
I did, yeah. He's coming back in for me if that is the case.
I love Grealish. To be fair, I definitely want him in. I love a bit of Jackie G. He looks great at the moment as well.
Yeah, looks like Foden definitely out for a month at least, I reckon.
It's such a weird week because the swing's going to be pretty big on like whether the single game week has crushed it or whether the double game week has crushed it, and they're so close in equity. I think like these Arsenal mids are so close to a lot of the doubling mids. I think it's really close.
I think this is where the doublers get them. I think this is the week where everyone thinks, the single game weekers are looking really strong comparatively in terms of the fixtures. Arsenal all brick. And the doublers like the Brentford lot and they fluke a clean. Tony gets a brace in a game, something like that, and the doublers all fly.
I had a premonition about this about 2 hours ago that Leeds just win 1-0. And you're just dead. Like you've literally lost for the week if you have 2 Arsenal mids, but it's like, yeah.
I don't know if anyone else feels this way. To me, it's a question of if, not when, Arsenal collapse. I've just changed my mind. I can just see it. I can just see Arteta in tatters.
I fancy another like 3-2 Arsenal or something. I think Arsenal will be fine.
I don't know if it's this week, but I think at some point before the end of the season, it's all going to collapse and go wrong for Arsenal, unfortunately. I do want them to win the league, but I'm just not sure they've got it in them. I'm not sure they got the bottle.
Yeah, so I'm either going to sell Ward-Prowse for a midfielder or roll with this team, and I just like double game week players.
I think roll.
Everton are good though at home. They're really good at home. Like they are. Like Everton are good at home. Like
you can't bench Harry Kane as well. He's just broke the England goal scorer record. He scored the last few games. He's been pictured with his shirt like record breaker and everything. He said, I think I heard him on Radio 1 while I was dropping the missus off earlier to the station to go to work. He was saying this is like one of the best weeks he's ever had.
It's actually record goal scorer. when you look at who he's scored against, like
Yeah.
15 of them are penalties, like grow up. He's fucking...
Yeah, Joey Barton did an amazing tweet earlier. Did you see that, Doyle?
I don't know. No.
He listed all he said 32 of Kane's goals were scored against all the crap teams. 18 were penalties. It says it means he scored 4 real goals for England.
Yeah, that feels about right. He's never scored an important goal, has he? Let's be honest. Aside from a penalty.
Yeah, it's very good. But like he's obviously great. Congratulations to Harry Kane for being amazing. But I might bench you this week. Right, over to you, Doyle, I think.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm doing. I should roll. Will I roll? I don't know. So I've got Kepa in goal, Trippier, Henry, Burn. So double Newcastle D. Mitoma, Saka, Odegaard, Rashford, Haaland, Havertz, and Tony, with White, Mudryk, and Tarkowski on the bench. Obviously, I've got Ward on the bench as well, sorry, but he doesn't play anymore, so no worries there in terms of choosing what keeper. I think I should probably just roll it, to be honest with you, and carry through, given I've not got free hit, etc. But like I said earlier, a little risky transfer from Mudryk out is very tempting. But then I'd have to bench probably Odegaard. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a roll.
You've got the same spot as me, pretty much, haven't you? You've got the 3 single game weekers, and then you've got eight doublers, basically. So
yeah, but I've got Haaland instead of Kane, which is
close. That is this week. I think that's close this week.
No. Liverpool at home versus Everton away for an attacking player. Liverpool shit 5 goals a week or something ridiculous. I'm not sure the stats.
Haaland's scoring like 5 goals a game as well now, isn't he?
Exactly. So I don't think that's a close one, to be fair.
I think your team's fine again.
Yeah.
I think people are getting too excited with the doubles and trying to force feed too many players in. And like you said, if you should roll to save your transfer as well, with the other games coming up, I think
no fun.
Absolutely fine. It is quite funny though that you've brought in Mudryk. He's got a double game week this week. You've bench him, and you kind of want to get rid of him as well. So, I mean, what a transfer that was, eh? That's one for the history books. You have to remember this one.
Well, I thought I'd try and jinx Chelsea, to be honest with you. That was my plan, bringing Havertz and Mudryk. Then we got the result, so it worked out. And my captain scored, who played in that game. So all's well that ends well, in my opinion.
Havertz is flagged now. I haven't heard anything. Is there anything behind that?
No, I saw that, and then I decided it was just an international injury because didn't want to look it and don't want to fake the.
I brought him in, I think, on the goal scorer challenge game as well, where you have him to score. So I think I had him for Germany, so I don't think that's going to come off. But never mind.
He withdrew from the squad the other day.
Oh, good news. Well, I'll be looking forward to him scoring goals for me for Germany.
Probably not going to score in that game then if he's not in the squad, I'd say. It's going to be tough for him.
He just got the flu, I think, and it was a friendly, so apparently there's nothing.
Lovely. Love the flu. Yeah, so that's me. JB?
Yep, so my team, I'm going to roll. Because I'm not going to wildcard until 33. I've got 32 in mind. And obviously in 32, Chelsea don't play. I've got 3 Chelsea. I'll need to do a goalkeeper transfer if Ward don't get his place back. Mitoma and Rashford are there as well, so I've got an eye on that. But I think the team's pretty straightforward this week. The fact that I'm only playing 11 players, I ain't bench boosting or anything. So my first 2 subs, Odegaard and Gabriel, even if they have to come in for James, if he's not fit, he tweaks a hamstring and he withdrew from the England squad. If Sankey's up with Rashford and he doesn't play for whatever reason, I'd be more than happy just to play Gabriel and Odegaard, save the transfer. So yeah, I don't mind it this week at all. And the captain choice probably be Rashford if he's fully fit and there's positive update on him. Failing that, I've got Mitoma, so it might be Mitoma instead. And that's pretty much it. Pretty boring week for me, to be honest. I don't really touch my team or going to do anything to it.
Do a bench boost, JB. Go on.
No, not when I've got my wild card. Be old school, innit? You've got to play like it's the year 2002. Wild card, then bench boost next week.
I would definitely bench boost that.
Just do Ward and Tarkowski.
Ward don't play anyway.
Yeah, Ward and Tarkowski out for a hit.
No, don't take out Tarkowski, mate. With no chance we don't clean against that crap. That's an easy 6 point. That's the one I'm worried about the most. That's the double-digit hole there you're trying to transfer out, Josh. Just one transfer, Ward out to someone, whoever. Steal, perfect. Bench boost. Then with wild card, you'd have to wild card into a team with fucking 4 bench assets.
No, I'm looking forward to my wild card in 33 and then bench boost 34. Patience is the key. Patience is the key. Not rushing it like all these amateurs. Wait until then I can stock up on Man City players in their double game week and then follow through with them for the rest of the season. Hopefully that'll be my
one
difference.
game. So they've got 52 games to worry about between then and the end of the season. So they're all rotating left, right, and centre.
I'm going to come good in the last couple of game weeks. That's my motto. That's how it's going to roll for me. Be looking forward to that. Liverpool, I think, have got a double game week in 34 as well. So hopefully they're firing and going for the Champions League then. So they'll be full strength in most games. Yeah, Man City players and then whoever else has got the doubles. Man United have got the double as well, so I'll load up on them. Can probably get rid of Arsenal because they'll play Chelsea that game week, and then they've got the tough fixture run. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, JB. But if anyone has got JB's exact team, who's not JB, I would do Ward and Tarkowski to 2 doubling players, and I would play bench boost because then you can wildcard in 34, which is much better.
Not for me. I want all my bench playing twice in 34. I'm gonna have like 58 players playing. I can't wait.
Got time for a couple of beer bets? Well, a beer bet.
Yeah, I already know mine. I'm going to do Harry Kane to outscore Haaland this week because you were so confident, Doyle, and I think Harry Kane might do the business.
It's a real 50-50.
Yeah, Josh likes taking the.
It's not a 50-50.
Yeah, but obviously I'll take it given my stance on it. And I will counter it with Everton to keep a clean sheet against Tottenham.
We'll both take that. That's a proper one, isn't it? To be fair, JB, we'll give him that.
It's pretty good, yeah. I'll take that.
I love the double jeopardy ones where you get double swing.
I will go for if he's fit because Haaland didn't play the internationals either. He's apparently got a groin strain, so make sure you keep up to date with that as well. If you still got Haaland, if he plays, I'll go for Haaland to be the top scoring striker this game week. So that will be Haaland not only to be top, but he's only playing 1 game as well. So he'll beat all the players playing twice. I reckon in hat tricks on the card against Liverpool.
Cool. Well, we don't have any doubts over who wins the poll this week. Well done, Josh, for the least ballsy beer bet of the week. Takes the easy wins, this lad. And while we're at it, Josh, send us out.
I should have actually said Haaland to blank. I think that would have been more fun, actually. I'll do that one as well if you want. But yeah, please like the video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, All in FPL. Please follow us on Twitter, which is also All in FPL. And please listen to our podcast on Apple and Spotify and all the other ones. Thank you, everybody.
Night, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah.